How you guys doing today? This is Darius from Donna TV. Welcome to the channel. So I came across this cute little chick, where she's stating that there aren't any more masculine men anymore. And I will agree to some degree. The average man is a weak-willed simp. Let's just keep it a buck. And I would rate this chick about a 6.5. She's a little cutie. I think she's some type of Middle Eastern, something like that, up my alley. I would definitely get with her. If she was in Texas around my area, I would definitely holler. But she says there's no more masculine men. So we're going to just go into it and I'm going to break down, everything she's saying.
Someone needs to let me know if I am the only one that has noticed that men are not like how they were when our parents were growing up. Like I grew up, I don't know if it's because they.
And she's correct. Men and women both have changed significantly throughout the decades due to feminism, women voting. And what happened was, since when women got the right to vote, they voted in politicians that created policies that slowly, throughout each generation, emasculated the man, took away men's natural authority over their wives and children, over their families, and they slowly took away men's authority, which in turn empowered the woman who had not only she can work, which isn't a problem, and go to college, but the problem is they stripped the man's natural authority where he can't discipline his wife, he can't make decisions for his family without legal rights of consent of the wife, where most time men would lead naturally, but now they have to have the government's permission, their wives' permission. And over the generations, men have become more weak, simpish, and docile and be like, okay, dear, whatever you say, dear. Now women don't like it. They don't like the fact that they have to make all the decisions and he always has to defer to her. But that's due to intergenerational emasculation of men, due to women voting in politicians that put in policies that throughout each generation emasculated the man.
Italian values or what? Like I grew up like the man is supposed to take care of the woman. The man is supposed to go up to the girls. Like the man is supposed to have drive and initiate everything. Like I feel like now it's so hard to find guys that like even just in general have drive in life. Like I feel like it's so different and
so that's a lot to unpack. So she wants men that want to approach her, men who have drive, men who have ambition. So there's a lot to unpack there. So her first issue is men don't approach her. Well, the reason why most men do not approach women anymore, they used to. Now you can go to jail or you can get in trouble or you can lose your job or you can be kicked out of the establishment because men don't approaching somebody. You don't know if they're married, got a boyfriend, they don't like you or they're lesbian or something. Men don't know these things. They can't read your mind. So women get, remember, female nature is chaotic. It's like a child. It's extremely chaotic. And women start off a high anxiety when a strange man approaches them. Their anxiety goes very high. The job of a man is to lower a woman's anxiety. So a lot of women have high anxiety and a lot of guys, women don't find them attractive. And when they reject them, it tears down the guy's self-esteem. And so he's less likely to approach. Or a woman will be like, oh, he made me uncomfortable, and they report him at the job or at the gym. So a lot of guys are deterred from that. And then the advent of dating apps, Bumble, Tinder, Hinge. Now guys have become like, man, I'm just gonna swipe right. That's less hurtful than approaching a woman and getting rejected. So it's due to that, due to men getting rejected, not used to getting rejected, and dating apps.
I don't know, like.
And then also men not having the drive and ambition that she wants. She wants a man who is going places where he's gonna get the money, where he's going to have a good status and career. Well, a lot of young guys are playing video games and watching porn. A lot of young men don't see the point because women's standards are super high, where only the top 10% of men are getting all the women. So the average below guy, he doesn't even have a chance, so he just checks out of life. He plays video games, watch porn, and calls it a day. So a lot of guys see no point. And due to the divorce court, a lot of young dudes are like, man, forget this. I don't want to end up like my dad. So that's another thing too.
I personally never get approached. I never. Maybe something's wrong with me. I don't know. But like, I feel like then like whenever I like talk about it, everyone's like, oh, well, they want the girl to like go up to them. Like, what? When did this change?
It's changed since Me Too. Since Me Too really deterred guys from approaching because a lot of dudes get falsely accused of, rape. So a lot of guys don't want to approach. And remember, women have high anxiety. And if they feel uncomfortable, then they may tell their boss or tell employees or whatever, like, oh, he made me uncomfortable, and then get kicked out the establishment. So a lot of guys do not want to deal with the backlash of being rejected. So they rather do passively just swipe right on Tinder or on Hinge versus then approaching a woman. Because now most young guys aren't taught how to talk to women. So they have high anxiety too. They're like, oh my God, man, I don't want to approach her. I like her, but I don't want to approach her because she might reject me. So.
When did this change? Because I want a man. I don't want to be the man. Someone come up to me. Anyways, I just feel like
conditional femininity. She wants the man in certain instances. See, modern women only want masculinity when it benefits or suits them. But are you submissive? Are you obedient? Will you follow his lead? Will you not go to concerts? Will you stop talking to your male friends because it's disrespectful and cheating? Probably not. See, women want masculinity when it benefits them. They don't want the whole package where, oh, you want a man that has drive and ambition, but you're not willing to be submissive. You're not willing to cook and clean and give him good loving when he wants it. Because if he's going to take care of you and be masculine, you also have to be feminine, submissive, and obedient. You have to be willing to serve him. So then when you give reverence to him, he'll work even harder because he loves you because you're doing your duty so he can work harder. See, women want to have their cake and eat it too. They want conditional masculinity, but they won't give their full femininity.
like there's no manly men. I just don't think so. I think every guy I've met is like honestly super emotional. And that's fine. Like I'm all about feelings, whatever. Like I'm an emotional person. So like that's okay. But I feel like it's definitely like sometimes worse than girls. Like I'm not even kidding.
She's not lying. I've been around a lot of men. They're basically second mothers. They have no backbone. Because if they put their foot down or show any sign of aggression, they're considered a monster and they'll get locked up. She can call the cops. What is a man supposed to do? So a lot of guys just defer to the wife. It's just easier. A lot of guys don't carry those masculine characteristics at work because they probably work with majority women. They go to college or school with a majority women. Like they cannot express their natural masculinity because people get scared and uncomfortable. Because men are rough. Men can be rough. We can be uncut. We can hurt feelings. And people don't like that. They don't like that side of masculinity. They like the side of masculinity where we sacrifice for women and children in society. And we work hard, but they don't want the part where they can give us reverence. They don't want the part where men demand reverence, men demand submission, men want coachable women. So they only want conditions to the masculinity.
Like, it's crazy. Anyways, so if anyone knows if manly men still exist, let me know. Or if I'm the only one that thinks they don't. I don't know.
Manly men do exist. The problem is that the problem is that feminism and intergenerational emasculation, the family courts, the government, have cut men off at the knees and suppressed their natural masculine nature. Because if you work with majority women, HR is run by women. You can't shoot the shit like madmen. You can't be like madmen where you smoking cigars, shooting the shit, maybe getting a couple fist fights. That's a part of masculinity too. Women don't like that. It makes them uncomfortable. So they suppress that using the government. So there are masculine men, but unfortunately they're suppressed. And so now most guys are adjusting to the times. They're becoming more feminine because it's been programmed by propaganda from the media and the government to become more in touch with your feelings. Now women don't like it because they're not turned on by it, and it's causing them to be alone because men don't want to approach women. So a lot of chicks are frustrated because no guy wants to approach them because the guys are too afraid. So one thing you have to learn, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Either you want the whole masculine energy or not. So we have to, the solution basically is get rid of the family courts, get them out of any domestic issues. The family can handle that, the community can handle that. Two, men have to be able to express their full masculinity in a healthy way, of course, without it being suppressed by the environment because they're uncomfortable that men yell or men have fist fights or men demand submission and obedience to their woman. You can't have it both ways. Either you want the man or not. So it's sad and unfortunate. I feel bad for women that they're not getting the masculine men that they need, but society's broken and it needs to be fixed. So this Darius from Down on TV. I'm out.